So if you check out check out YouTube and go to Dark Glass Gaming, it should have the new modifications for the site on there. And last time it didn't record all volume. Yes, I see you're measuring me.
Do you measure up?
The answer is no.
That's what she said.
That is streaming. That is streaming. Okay, cool. So nice couch set, by the way. I saw you got that the other week.
Yeah, we've had it for 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Nice.
How long have we had it, dear? 2-3 weeks. It's been really nice.
That's some weird stuff.
That's pretty normal for you.
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing. We have the graphics. That's the important part. But Skype is, for whatever reason, choosing to put your box, your chat box.
Went to see Ariana Grande in Manchester. A lucky few got to meet Port and Chris Cornell as well. Hey, Aerosmith, misuse of pyrotechnics.
All right. So if you would like to view the deal, I'm streaming on YouTube now. It should have a neat little nifty overlay now. Fit right there. Does anyone recap what happened last game? What we're doing now?
No idea what we're doing now.
The what?
No idea what we're doing now.
What
I
happened
forgot.
last game?
We burned his body.
Died. That's what happened last game.
Alright, we're in a little choppiness. One moment here. Okay, so last game, our brave adventurers tried to get more followers for the religion, the faith, and failed horribly. No, didn't quite fail horribly. Almost killed the guy, but he didn't quite get him. In return, they ended up having to bury the hand of Tyrenius.
Fist.
Gone forever be his name.
The fist.
The fist. Yes.
Yeah. He's a fist. Was.
And the female orc loved him much, is what I recall hearing.
She didn't seem very harmful.
I know, it's kind of strange, but you know what? She's a cruel, heartless bitch.
Cheering was a little strange.
So, you find yourselves in the cusp of, let's see. Oh, come on. Oh, I gotta turn this thing back on. It's been inactive long enough. There we go. So you've just finished burying your friend in the swamps near Churchill. Your
What
did
friend.
Hate you all. Beware my pixie wrath.
God damn it. Okay, we're going to have to stop OBS again. Starting the stream up yet once again. Okay. Established location. I guess it's up to you guys. The Pixie is following you guys. You don't know this yet, because Pixie is apparently equivalent, if not better, at hiding than
No,
Mike
it's
is.
sure it's just invisible, but we can't actually see it.
My height is expedition. I just don't have to use it really. I'm plus 18, but I'm technically only a level. That's a level 7.
Plus 18 plus invisibility.
I'm assuming Poe disappeared.
Yes, Poe is no longer with you. He went up in a pile of flames as soon as the great fist of Tyrannus died. What are you two doing, Mike and Brian?
That's your story now.
Where are we heading toward the one town? Drink.
You were heading towards Churchill.
Yep.
You're trying to conquer it.
That's where we're heading.
Okay. It's not far off. As a matter of fact, you made camp the last prior night, just outside of reach of the city. Off in the distance, you can see the high walls, the high stone walls, which are painted obnoxiously yellow. It seems to be quite cheesy to you.
Say, does it look like cheddar?
Against the wall. Yeah, right.
I'm just lazily following along, buzzing around about 3 feet above their heads.
Okay. Good news. We also have volume, so this time, if anybody is watching the channel, they can hear everything we're saying, as opposed to just what I am saying.
Woohoo! That may not be good.
That may not be good.
That might not be good. No, Charlie, pull up the channel if you can. The live stream. I did work on it. Mike, you're still not done yet, but I'm working on you. I merely have to figure out a way to kill you tonight.
Shouldn't be that hard.
Okay, so you arrive at the walls. They've Let me ask you: are you wearing your flame garb or no?
What's it under? The dark glass?
It should be the dark glass or dark glass gaming.
I'm wearing my normal armor. The flame guard I bring out for special occasions.
Okay. Actually, try under Atlantis Gaming Group, Phoenix chapter.
Did you make up your mind?
Well, no, it's Dark Glass Gaming is what it's the channel's called.
Channel is, but if you go to Atlantis Gaming, you're supposed to follow it.
Ooh, live now. Dark glass gaming.
And I almost gave Brian pink bows, but I decided not to.
Close.
Yeah, but we can't see you.
Yeah, I know, and also yours is your display's kind of gone down, but on the side though,
Tiny.
yeah, that's what I was messing with earlier. So I come over here, there we go. But as soon as I click this button, it minimizes.
It's about 15 seconds behind.
Yeah, it's going to be about 15, 20 seconds behind. It won't be completely on time.
Yes. Oh, now we're gone. Now we're up. Hello. Okay, hold on. And 15 seconds. Oh no, we're like 30 seconds behind.
Yeah, it's got a significant delay. And the reason they do that is because they have to have time for ads and things in there that throw in while you're trying to watch the videos.
Fair enough. Yeah, you can't watch that. That's so behind and weird.
Well, but look at the side panel, the cartoon characters.
I did. I saw that.
That's what I was working on. I'm still working on Mike. Right now, he's just rolling really well on his hide skill. Not even the
Ron-
DM's. Not even the
What?
DM's program could find him.
Yeah. Brian didn't draw us, so we should be okay. But we have been drawn. Just never.
So I'm gonna hide, and I got a 40 on my hide. A dark pit.
That's in theory. I am God.
And I am gonna scout the town.
What do you mean, Groot?
Yeah, you couldn't even find me if you wanted.
That's in theory. I am God.
Well, 20. Natural
Yeah.
20.
Yeah.
So you rolled a 40 to hide. As you approach the town, there are two very large walls. There's a very large wall in front of you, and one gate which is being closely guarded by two soldiers watching over, asking people's allegiances, making sure they're not followers of Flame.
I fly over the wall.
Okay.
How tall is the wall?
It's about 20 foot.
Okay.
Just high enough to prevent people from being able to easily access the city. And actually accelerate a couple days.
Are there soldiers on top of the wall?
There are soldiers at the top of the wall. As a matter of fact, As you start to, as you're sneaking around, you hear a loud alarm go off. Alarm! Alarm! To the west, invaders. Charlie, from your sight, kind of flying up high. You
Big
can
church people.
No, not
No.
Churchill.
Or, okay.
Churchill is a Xanthian.
from your vantage point, Charlie, you see over the wall and to the west, there seems to be a mass of figures that's walking towards the city. Probably about 500 or 600 individuals, including heavy mounted horse and siege towers. Brian, as your where were you at, by the way? Brian?
Well,
Are you attempting to follow?
well, the thing is that my height sucks.
Yeah. You're hiding. You're walking around with the twig in front of you. Is that?
Yes.
Always a fairly effective way to do it.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's non-existent. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like 0, isn't it?
It's -1.
It's -1. It's still better than what mine was before.
For the hell of it. No.
Well, Brian, I'll throw you a bone here. You see that?
I'm gonna try and stay out of sight, but
You're not out of sight.
On the roadway, you see several travelers on the alarm and the bells being raised of the impending attack. You see that there's several villagers hustling to get into town.
Are any of them orcish in nature?
It's a it's a varied group. Orcs, humans, half orcs, humans, and that sort of thing. Your various travelers throughout the village or throughout the kingdom.
I've been with a group of villagers rushing in.
Yep. And as you're rushing by, Mike, you hear the soldiers shouting, "Hurry, hurry! Unless you want to be left outside, we're closing the gates very quickly."
yeah, I'm trying to blend in, hide my axes.
Blend. Blend in.
The character is not really designed for blending.
Amazingly, the guards, you did a very well job of hiding your axes. They don't give you a second look, as you kind of are taller than most of the people walking in, but they're more interested in saving their own skin and shoving people into the fortress to prevent assault.
So they wash as long as they don't wash those hands.
Perhaps you want to ask.
Yeah.
I'm hovering up on high, kind of keeping an eye on these two and watching which direction they're going.
Okay. Shortly within, you do kind of see the telltale sign of your friend. Even though
As he disappears again.
huh?
As he disappears again.
You kind
Or
of
I'm mostly watching her.
You actually noticed something since the last night you slept, and since the loss of the hand, the fist of Tyrenius. You noticed that the thief now has a odd glow about him that nobody else seems to be able to see.
I see him.
Brian.
Oh.
Oh, so you can see me, but whenever. But I'm at a height of 41 now.
Nice.
Imagine in game, he's like NPC with a glow around him, like, I have something for you to do.
Uh-huh.
There's an odd triangle above his head.
Yes.
It's golden, pointing down at him.
What did I drink
It
last
spins
night?
slightly. Okay.
Well, you follow the imaginary golden triangle above his head. I follow you, so it's all good.
Mike, where are you going?
Where's the places that I can create the most havoc?
Bars.
What kind of havoc are you wanting to create?
Stuff blowing up.
Okay.
Stuff to distract the guards while the forces are moving in. That type of stuff.
You kind of look around. Go ahead and give me a spot check.
Um, 31.
Okay. Off in the distance, you kind of see above the line a little bit what looks like it's a giant storage facility. Reason permits that you've probably seen the storage facility because it has a grain elevator at the top of it. As a matter of fact, not far from where you're at, you can see that there's a merchant carrying shocks of wheat, who's heading towards that facility as we speak. Many of the other people are running inside their houses, shuttering it. Other places are going to places of worship to try to find faith within their gods that they'll be saved and spared. Through the chaos, it's pretty easy just to see that this farmer's just trying to get his wheat protected and get his coin as quickly as possible.
I'll follow him. Let him get his coin. Steal his coin. And set fire to the grain elevator.
Okay. So you proceed to move forward. Brian, are you still following him to some extent?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably hiding a lot, so.
Yeah, you can't hide very well, but being an adventurer, you're going to draw attention anyways, but not necessarily undue attention. You're the only one that's really not marked with a flame anywhere in particular. A couple of people take notice of your magical armor, which barely covers anything. But a couple of nasty glares kind of dissuades any interested parties in pursuing. Yeah, Mike, you arrive at the grain elevator, and the farmer is sitting there visibly red as he's arguing and shouting at the elevator merchant, or the storage merchant, who refuses to buy his grain right now because they're in times because there's armies in the outskirts of town. This is not a good time for this. Bring it back tomorrow. Who knows? It could catch wheat. The farmer says gruffly, "Who knows? My wheat could catch fire, or it could catch rot by tomorrow. I want you to buy it now. It's high quality."
If he doesn't sell it and you burn down the other stuff, his stuff would be worth
Yep.
thousands of times more.
Yep.
And the merchantman, despite all efforts, declines to purchase the material, and directs the farmer to return tomorrow, make sure his wheat is dry, and he'll get to him tomorrow if the battle has subsided, or when they're in reasonably safe conditions. He proceeds to slam the door shut to the grain elevator and lock it with a large, heavy-looking lock.
Are there other doors, windows, any other openings into this place?
There's gotta be vents. All grain elevators have vents. Even back then.
There is a rather large opening at the top that you can see. You could potentially skirt in yourself if you wanted to through the gap. It has a hole in it to let air out and in. Just basically keep it ventilated from the top.
Okay. What about other? There's obviously the door that he put the lock on, but are there other windows or?
Not really. No.
Like closed.
Yeah, there's a section below that has like where they can drive a cart in. It's a large wooden gate that could fit a cart of average size in there. And the grain elevator, I'd say, is about, let's see. Here we go. Let's select this. Went over the character section over here, Charlie. Let's give everybody an idea. Okay. That's about the size of the grain elevator, so it's rather large, actually. Let's go ahead and do one more section here.
You said a wooden door?
Yep. It's a large wooden door, fairly well protected from anything on there. You can tell it's been well seasoned, and they've made sure that it's watertight and probably protected against the elements, the other elements, by most standards.
It's got lots of
Protected
oil
against
on it.
iron elements.
I see why it's worth doing that.
Is there any oil nearby? Or pitch?
Not especially. There's some merchants, but it seems like most of the merchants have started to pack their things up and shutter the doors. The only places that are really open right now are inns,
Yeah.
which you see the farmer hauling his cart off to a local tavern. Looks like it's kind of like a merchant's tavern, so he obviously would frequent that area. But as far as actual shops and things, most of the places that would sell that kind of stuff have shuttered their deal and posted a rather large guard around it because it's quite dangerous.
I'm gonna go into the vent.
Okay.
It's a small little stream.
I want to see if there's a way for me to like open up the door.
I'm going to check that lock for traps.
Okay. I'll give you just a general information, Mike. You watched him watched him shut the lock and clasp it. There were no traps set.
Okay.
It's just a standard lock. It looks like it's pretty high grade because it is primarily the city's supply of grain for the long haul. So Charlie, you kind of float around, you fly through the hole, and get into it. As you kind of fly in, you see that there's heaps of grain, and a place where the grain spouts into it from below, but really not. And if you fly down to the next level, you kind of see that there's room there with a device that seems to be powered by steam, with GG written in a brilliant insignia.
37 on pick lock or open lock.
Are there like lots of knobs and
Yes, there are.
valves?
There are, and there's a small pilot light at the bottom, which is keeping the water going so that steam is at a constant temperature, with an outlet valve to let out a little bit when it gets too hot.
Can I use my disable device to try and like fiddle with it to like?
We've got two
Just
going
start
in.
turning knobs and start rolling and seeing if you're successful in the operation. If you're not successful, we might have just what we want.
So you're disabling device. What are you trying to disable? The
Disabling it. I'm trying to figure out.
He's messing with it.
I want to mess with it. I want to see if I can't like
Boost
put it into some kind of critical mode or something. Can't be that difficult to do considering it's Googleberry.
Yeah, he's like a child. Ooh, what's this do? Oh, what's this do? What's this switch for?
what is and Mike, we'll get to you in a minute. Charlie's had a minute to go through. We've got through conversation. You had to wait for the farmer to leave and the merchant to exit anyways, the salesman. Yeah, so Charlie, do you have engineering at all or anything that resembles that knowledge?
Use magic device.
No.
Sleight of hand.
Do you have any knowledges at all?
No, but I have a +3 intelligence.
Give me a roll on your intelligence, just a base roll.
20.
Okay. You notice that the dial is hovering somewhere between average and hot. And there's this big red section. Above it is the outlet, and it goes to reason that if you cap the outlet, then it will probably, most likely, stop the steam from escaping and creating a hyperboil.
Okay. Oh. Why not? I'm gonna find something. And I'm going to use it to, plug up the hole.
Okay. You find You find a
You find some grain.
It's green and stuff's in where the pilot is.
You find a large slab of lumber to the side. That is not too heavy for you to lift. It is pretty heavy, but it's not too heavy for you to lift.
How big is your pixie?
Like 2 foot something.
Yeah, she's small.
My size.
Tiny. She's tiny.
It goes to reason they could.
She's 6 and she's 16 inches. She's 16 pounds.
It goes to reason they could put this piece of lumber against the outlet device, and it'd keep the cap from raising when it needed to. And for added weight, you could add on a sack of grain, because it's a large sack of grain that probably is about 50 pounds. They could put against the deal just for added insurance.
Okay. I think I have the strength to do that. But I'm a young 80. Almost child. Almost.
They did that on Stargate. This the Brytac comes up and goes, I feel like a young man of 80 again.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. As you do that, you see that it kind of it shuts. You hear the whistle kind of stop. As you do that, you just hear a as it's just like even more compressed. And as you pack on the deal, even that hissing stops. As you hear the kerthump. What is your next move? As you see the dial start to move up.
The dial does start to move up. My next move is to go back out the vent. Wait. I'm going to, twist a knob.
Okay. There's a knob with a flame next to it.
Okay, I'm gonna start to twist it slightly going one direction.
Lefty loose, tighty tighty.
To the left.
To the left. You see the flame start to grow higher.
Okay, good. I'm gonna turn that as I'm just gonna crank it. And then I'm running.
Or flying.
More accurately flying, but
Okay.
I'm getting the F out of there, okay? That's all there is to it. I'm like, this is gonna be spectacular.
Mike.
The best part is, in my little mind, I'm imagining the thief sitting outside the door trying to unlock the lock when the whole thing goes off.
Yes. Well, Mike, this is the scene that unfolds. Charlie goes up. He goes out the top of the deal. At this time, you unlock it. You see a room with several things inside of it. And you see what looks like an elevator device with something inscribed on it. Couple levers. And on the device has a piece of lumber leaning against it with a large sack on it.
I throw a lit torch in and run.
One moment. I'm going to see if you have the opportunity really quickly. High or low?
I rolled a low. So low.
No, it was not low. Looking at the roll right now, it was a 20. Was yours a 1?
No, mine was a 6.
Okay. Well, that's better for you at least.
much to your chagrin, you walk in, you pull the torch back, and you kind of fling it. And then a great blast of steam and just shrapnel flies out as the steam device explodes. Give me a reflex roll.
26.
Okay. Much to your relief, as you go and see this happen, the flame flies over your head. I assume you have the feat that lets you evade without taking damage.
Yes.
Okay. So, you manage to jump to the side of the building as in a great golden rain, the building explodes and you manage to find yourself rolled over on your back in the muddy cesspool of the city's sewage system, which has an external gutter. But it's better to be alive than dead. And you live amongst orcs, so it doesn't smell much worse.
Exactly. Hey.
Brian, you see the thief walk up there with his odd red halo, reach back, throw a torch in, and faster than what should seem possible, the whole place blew up in a concussive explosion, almost like someone cast a fireball spell. Bits of burning grain are floating down from the atmosphere now.
City. So, secondary fires.
Unfortunately, they aren't really enough to catch everything on fire because it was just mainly a steam explosion.
Lots of money.
He actually, so Charlie, you kind of see this as you're from your vantage point, and now it kind of gets clouded because you have tons of just grain floating about, almost like it's a floating cloud of grain, just that thick.
It's snowing ash.
Yeah. Well, actually, really hot, moist wheat or grain.
Oatmeal.
Exactly.
I'll be honest, I did it mostly for the farmer. The least the merchant could have done is just stored the grain in there temporarily.
You hear you hear coming from the direction of the tavern, farmer going, "Well, it must be my lucky day." As he kind of looks back and flips a coin, pocketing it, and proceeds on to the tavern, whistling on the way. Meanwhile, the citizens that are the only citizens remaining are now screaming, "What the hell?" and running about.
And I'm hidden at a 38.
Okay. Brian, what do? You see the citizenry running to make sure that any small fires that are there are put out. Most of the fires are close to the granary, and they're catching a hold of several of the pallets of grain.
I'm gonna go to the tavern and get a drink.
Okay.
Okay, that was fun.
Okay. Where's that
I'm gonna get a drink now.
tavern with the merchant's wheat barrel?
You see a tavern called Fuzzy Logic, and it's located due north a couple of 50 or 60 feet north. That's where he went, and he parked it in a walled off section back behind the tavern, where they keep stables and horses and that sort of thing.
Is there any way for me to get to it?
Well, yeah, you can climb. You could go in. It's not going to be difficult. You could walk in the tavern, which you happen to see your orc compatriot walking that direction.
I'm going to sneak around and set his weed on fire.
I'm gonna kind of just to take a precursory flight around the town. Really kind of just looking at
Recon.
yeah, just looking at like what's going on. Where are the soldiers at? Where are they going? Like what defenses do they have in place?
Yes. You notice most of the military is mobilized to the wall, the western wall, to look at the impending army. Meanwhile, you see that an unfortunate group of Xanthian soldiers actually was just about to make it to town. It was a mounted regiment, and putting valor to everything, turns and prepares to take on a charge or take on the assault of the impending force from Candle Harbor. Most of the go ahead.
Are the Candle Harbor troops preparing to assault, or are they?
They're definitely preparing to assault.
All right, okay. I wasn't sure if they were like making camp, and preparing for siege, or if they were actually like already preparing to actually like attack, engage.
Yeah, what time is it?
It's roughly, I'd say, 9 o'clock in the morning, but judging by your sundial. You guys were less than an hour away from town. Brian, you walk in this tavern. It's got 2 stories to it. One for upper housing and bedding and that sort of thing. Rather nice inside. It looks like something that, average middle class individual, which is not many middle class there, so upper middle class would stay in. The rates are about 2 gold a night to stay there, but includes a decent fair meal. You see a large boar roasting on a spit, preparing for the evening because it takes quite a while to roast it. And they serve a large, heady beer or mead.
Going to the tavern.
Okay.
Up to the bar.
Sherry stuff just wasn't interesting enough.
I basically asked the person if they've got anything called Pugmans.
The person looks at you confounded. What? What is that?
Okay, then just give me your local favorite.
And the brewmeister there seems quite proud of his craft as he goes, "Oh, you'll love this." He dips a hearty mug out. He goes, "Especially for a lovely lass like you." Puts it in front of you. You see that it's a quite rich brew. It's almost thicker than Guinness.
It's a glass you can eat.
You see next to you a smug-looking trader going, I'm going to make a killing. They should have let me have my goods in that warehouse. Karma is a bitch.
I take a big long chug of the beer.
Okay.
Ah!
Give me a fortitude.
26.
Okay. You do just fine. I didn't expect you'd fail it, but we've had weirder things happen in these games.
Do I make it to the tavern?
You do. You do have a little bit of time going between here and there
No, that's fine.
because you're flying around town.
Yeah.
And you notice that you can pretty much assume that's going to be a bad ending for the soldiers that are stuck on horseback in front of the city, as the other troops outnumbered them about.
It was boring. I'm going to find more. I'm going to find entertaining things to do.
Mike, give me a climb roll. I assume you're trying to do this unseen.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so you see a spot where you can climb up the wall. It's not necessarily super hard to climb up, but it's definitely going to be a roll for you.
25.
You kind of find a couple of good handholds, pull yourself up, stack a couple of barrels up so you can get yourself a little bit closer. With a little leap, jump up, grab the top, and heft yourself over into the security section.
I'm not going actually in it if I can actually throw a torch onto his wheat pile.
It becomes pretty evident that even with your hide rolls, if you're holding a lit torch, because you'd have to light the torch beforehand, if you're holding a lit torch, the guards inside would see.
Okay.
There are a couple of very thick armed guards. One of them looks to be, and you have to do a double take. It looks like an ogre is actually defending this region.
Okay. Well, I won't have the lit torch.
Okay, so you're throwing a lit torch?
No, I said I'm not going to have the lit torch. I cast Kitty's Ball of Yarn on it and run.
Well, and I would say if you want to get down there, you can actually get down in there pretty easily. Because casting a spell is going to blow your invisibility as well. So there's some somatic components to it. You have to say something to make it happen.
True.
Yeah, effectively, in this case, you're actually saying a prayer.
Yeah.
Lord.
Yes.
Tyrannus.
But I guess I'll go down there and start a small ember and hide it in there.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of take a couple minutes. You sit there and get a little ember. You set it on his wheat, which the farmer has very carefully placed several burlap cloths over to protect it from any sort of moisture or bad weather.
And I will sneak into the tavern.
Okay. You kind of sneak in the tavern, just as you smell, I assume you give a couple cursory puffs to make sure that it,
Yeah.
yeah, just as the smell of burning grain starts to fill your nose. You walk in. The farmer walks, grabs his beer, gets down, and he starts walking towards some lass across the way.
An orcish lass?
No,
He was already to begin with.
Oh.
He's walking away.
and at about the time you kind of turned over, Brian, and you're taking a hefty chug of your beer again. You feel something slap your ass really hard. It's kind of like a, oh yeah, I bet she likes it rough kind of hard.
Axe, swing. We're all going to die.
Give me an attack roll.
Now, does the slap on the ass actually cause any damage?
No.
36.
Okay. One moment. It was kind of a blind strike, so I'm just going to give that benefit here. Bear with me one moment here.
Yeah, I just swung.
And the general direction of the ass slapping is what I assume.
Yeah.
Where are all my D10s? Did they hide them from me? Did I throw them all off the table at one point and lose them? That's probably what happened.
Did.
Knowing you, yes.
Let's see. There's a D8. Do, 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 do. Hell, it's all percentage based anyways. Woo! You swing your axe. Charlie, I also need you to make a reflex save.
He hits you. Roll a new character.
31.
Okay. You nimbly dodge out of the way. As you see the axe swing next to you, and the farmer, the poor farmer, nimbly turns just at the right moment, so axe goes past him, tearing a little bit of his fine merchant shirt. Yes. Him go, hey, what? Meanwhile, you also see that the thief is walking in from the back where the stables are, doing this, and you hear an alarm shout from the guards going, fire! Fire!
There may be mischief afoot here. Just saying. It's like a whole tribe of pixies all of a sudden showed up. Actually, that'd be a hell of a campaign.
I guess.
Like, it'd be a hell of a campaign hook. Like, a tribe of pixies all of a sudden shows up in town and just starts causing mayhem everywhere.
Well, you got two rogues here.
They're druidic pixies. Everyone has at least a level or two in druid, or something following the faith, and and every single one of them wants to return the town to nature again.
I'm not even thinking that. This is just like mischief. Mischief for mischief's sakes. It's like a yearly ritual for the pixie tribe.
Yes.
All the young pixies, though. This is like their adulthood thing. You have to go out.
Rite of passage.
Rite of passage. You have to go out to a big, a large settlement, and you have to create as much mischief as you can, but you cannot get caught.
So,
as everything starts to go like wonky, I grab the mug that's I'm assuming like semi full, that was the farmer's, and I toss it at the head of the largest, meanest looking dude in the tavern.
I'll say this. The farmer still has his mug in hand, firmly grasped. However, there is a mug nearby of a stunned patron.
Hold on. 37 sleight of hand.
I will give you that. He has it firmly gripped in his hand, as he's just had an axe.
Hard.
That'd be even better, because all of a sudden he's like, doesn't have it in his hand.
He has it firmly gripped there,
Okay,
as
so
if death itself is trying to grip him.
yes.
Because
Okay.
he just had an axe swing by him.
Okay, good point. Okay.
It's like he has energy running through him. He has panic there.
Okay, well, I'm grabbing
Well, not at him particularly. I swung.
the sleight of hand, 37. I'm grabbing the nearest mug, and I'm tossing it at the
That's going to be
biggest,
hers.
meanest dude in the place.
Okay.
Not her.
No, that's going to be her mug.
Yeah, you're wise not to take her mug.
No, it's not. It's not my mug because I didn't put my mug down to swing my axe.
Yeah.
It was in my mouth, and I'm.
Okay. Amazingly, these dice are being crazy tonight. Like, that's the second 20 I've rolled.
24 on my ranged attack.
So,
Improvised weapon.
Oh yeah, improvised weapon.
that's okay.
So, like,
You're still
or like-
good. It's 20.
Thing, but
Mike, give me a spot check, actually.
you can technically spot the mug moving, even though I'm invisible.
31.
So, while everybody else is kind of shocked at the scene unfolding, the orc seemingly swinging unreasonably at the poor trader with the axe, you see a mug seemingly magically fly up and hurl itself, whacking. Give me a D4 damage, Charlie.
Only. Oh, you going for a kill with a bug?
Only
That would
one.
have been awesome.
What'd you roll? 4?
No, only a 1. I only rolled a 1. It was a weak mug.
You see this. He picks up a clay mug, chucks it across the room. It hits squarely in the face an ogre merchant.
Yay.
Seems to have been in town, enjoying himself. He had several beautiful ladies on his lap. As his mug hits him, it cracks as it smashes, causing no noticeable damage. But now he's very wet. You have several screaming ladies, quite angry. because he was happy to spread his coin, and now they're all wet, and he's all wet, and he stands up without thinking about them, hurling them off his lap. Who did that? He bellows.
Well, he's sitting there. Since I just noticed this, I'm tying a rope to something sturdy across right in front of him.
Okay.
Using sleight of hand.
It's going to take a couple turns to do that. You got to move. You got to move while hidden, then tie it, and then tie it somewhere else. Just create your trip line, right?
Yep.
Okay. He stands up. He bellows. Who did this? He's looking at the general direction of the angry orc female with her axe and mug. And then he instantly dismisses her in his rage because he realizes that she's holding a mug and so could not have possibly thrown it because both her hands are full.
Hold on, I've got to look something up real quick, but
okay.
we just have seconds.
Meanwhile, I'll continue describing the scene. The other patrons all kind of back away because this ogre apparently has quite a reputation.
Okay, hold on. So, daily spell, permanent image. I cast permanent image and make it look like a guy stands up. It's visual, auditory, olfactory, and thermal elements can all be included. I make it look like a guy stands up, like a trader stands up from kind of a back table and starts pointing at the guy next to the bug that I picked up and threw. And he starts yelling, "He did it! I saw him do it!"
Is there a will save?
I'm sure there is.
Yeah, there is. Hold on. I think it's in my...
I have my player's handbook close enough to reach.
It's going to be something like...
yeah, DC 19.
Okay.
I actually passed it.
There, that's where the live chat tab is. Okay. As you see the individual kind of peer around, I rolled for the ogre immediately, and he didn't pass. You also hear the merchant, the trader, the wheat trader, hear the words fire kind of in the din of everything, and you kind of see that it gleams on his eyes in recognition that there's a fire in back.
By the way, the tripwire is going across that door too, between him and the door.
Okay. You've managed to reach the table basin, and you're tying the rope this time. I needed to use rope from you.
Uh, 22.
22. Okay. So you cast. So you're kind of tying the rope. You're pretty satisfied that's tied well now, and you can start to truck your way across to the next destination. How much rope are you using? Are you using a full sheath of rope, or are you just using a cordon part of it?
Uh, Mark.
Okay. So you kind of cut your rope to distance on there. Like how much distance are you looking for?
Uh, just enough to trip the guy that's about to get in a fight and the merchant as he's running back.
Maybe
Okay.
6 feet.
Probably like
Okay.
10 foot.
Yeah.
Much to your chagrin, the merchant runs out fast as he can, dropping his mug, and goes, "Oh no! That was my winter savings!" As he kind of could see from the doorway the flames already bustling above the cart that he had, as well as his cart's catching on fire. And he disappears from the room. The ogre turns and looks at the poor whelp that's like been accused, and the whelp's sitting there, hands out, shaking his head. No, I didn't do it.
Hold on. Did the whelp save him on his saving throw?
Well, it
Because
doesn't.
it's important because he wouldn't know that the big ogre guy thinks he did it.
No, he's accused, and so this fully auditory image pointed him out. I just rolling to see if the orc realized he was fake or not. The image.
No, the. I guess okay.
Whether they can see it or not, they just hear that guy's. They hear it. And honestly, as soon as everything starts to go, the image itself is just going to
Yeah,
dispel the image, you know?
So the ogre picks up what looks like the greater limb of a tree, like the better part of a trunk almost of a small tree, or a limb of a ancient oak or something like that. And he starts making his direction. Mike, you do get across quickly enough that you can tie the knot off on the other end, or yank it, whichever you want to do.
Do I have enough time to tie it off?
You can make the roll. He is now moving, so
Well, it's a 24 to tie it off.
okay. So kind of, I will say that in the haste, you kind of make a little loop around it that gives you more stability. And then you're getting ready to tie it, and you realize that the ogre is going to hit a little bit too soon for you to do that. But the added stability is going to give you more leverage to hold the rope.
Okay.
See if angry ogre. Ooh. The ogre barely stops before hitting your trap. I rolled it for him. He rolled an 18 to spot it, plus his spot, and you see a glowering look follow the rope to where you're at, which you've let go of the rope by now. Sorry?
I was saying I let loose real quick and
Yeah.
hide somewhere else. Hide within the crowd.
He catches your fleeting bum as it's kind of rushing away. He goes, "I'll deal with you later," is what he says your direction. He says, "That wasn't funny." As he proceeds to impend upon this poor individual. Oh, God.
Well, everyone's distracted. Sleight of hand, pickpocket someone. 32.
That'll be next round, but I'll give you. I'll see if they notice or not. He swings this nasty-looking club at the individual, the other poor little waif. You see the waif go flying through the air as if hit by a bus. And by the time he hits a wall, it looks like he was hit by a bus. And he's not moving. It's quite obvious that he's either on death's edge or quite near it. You went around, you try to steal something. You find an individual that has a purse that you cut that has about 5 gold on them.
Okay.
Brian, what are you doing now?
I'm still at the bar drinking. I got a drink and a show.
I say I'm moving to another part of the bar, finding the next biggest dude.
Okay.
And just as somebody goes by, I'm gonna smack him in the back of the head.
Give me your stealth roll. Your hide on that one.
I'm still invisible.
Oh, I know. It's more for recognition.
Oh, okay.
Natural 20.
Do you want me to add my plus 18 to it?
Okay, so you're quite convincing. So you slap him on the back of the head. He turns and glowers at the individual behind him, which is effectively where you hit him, and it happens to be a rather frail-looking lady.
No, I made sure it was a guy.
Oh, okay.
I made sure a guy, but I'm cool with the frail. That's probably very much in line with what I would have done.
Okay, we'll take this to the next level then. It's a rather pompous-looking merchant.
Yes.
He looks like a French salesman in fine vestments with a little twirly gig mustache and a rapier, somewhat expertly. It looks like it was somewhat expertly crafted. He looks at this individual.
I might have to lift that off, that dude.
And he goes, "Have I offended you, sir?" And the individual goes, "Why, not yet, sir. Are you trying to fight?" He goes, "Why? No, I'd never pick a battle with you, Duke." And you see the large burly guy back away from the swordsman.
It's Duke.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm planting that coin purse on somebody nearby in plain sight to where the guy will see it, but won't see me plant it. 32 on the, or no, 36 on the sleight of hand.
Okay. You kind of do your plant, try to make it swing or make it planted on there, and with very little difficulty, you kind of attach it to his belt. About this time, beleaguered as the patrol is, you see 3 guards rush in. What's going on in here? You hear the sergeant bellow. You see the ogre go back to his corner, sit down, and tuck the bloody tree limb behind him somewhat. It's kind of horribly hidden, actually. But he looks at the guards straight in the eye. He says, "Nothing we can't handle. Please go about your day." And the Duke appears. He says,
Droids you're looking for.
and the Duke says, "I suspect there's some foul play coming on here. We may have agents in the city. I suggest we pull out our mages and go searching for them. And our best dogs." And the Duke takes a grip of his rapier and quite confidently walks to them. And the soldiers kind of say, "Yes, sir. We'll get right on this."
As the Duke gets close to the guards, I cast Entangle, centered on them, and then I get the fuck out because my work here is done.
Okay.
Yeah, I make my way out too.
Which in this case would be Entangle will be there for a good
How large is the entangle, by the way?
40 feet.
I need each of you to take a save against his entanglement spell. I think it's reflex.
Yep.
As strangely, vines start growing out of the woodwork.
29.
Actually, what exactly happens is there's a petunia in the corner, hosted in a bed of water, that takes life magically and turns into a vicious, entangling beast, grabbing everything within its reach. You said 29, Mike?
Yep.
You're fine? Brian?
25.
Okay.
If I needed to, 24.
Okay. I didn't necessarily make you take it because you cast it. You were kind of in lieu of what was going on, so you knew.
Fine.
You see the patrons, however, kind of slowed up as the spell is going off around them, and like people are just being dragged down or gripped by this petunia that has magically grown all over the floor.
Including the Duke?
The Duke and his and one of the soldiers is absolutely fine. They just kind of walk out. Another soldier is tripped up and falls flat on his face.
I sneak out the back.
Okay. Brian, what are you doing?
Finish my beer.
Okay. Give me a reflex save again as the tendril kind of creeps up and tries to grab your leg.
$24.
Okay. Oh, the little kick. You kick it off, and you hear the. You kind of hear the thwap as the tendril hits the board and kind of flops around the ground a little bit. With a mighty swig, the beer disappears down your gullet. Okay, we've created a whole bunch of chaos. What are you doing now, Brian? Charlie and Mike have left. Mike, you take the stable exit, by the way. You see the merchant trying to put out his wagon now because the grain has already caught fire and burned up like crazy.
Yeah, I'm going to leave him alone for now.
Brian, what were you doing?
Now what? I'm just gonna wander around town and check stuff out.
Okay. Just kind of exit. The safest way is probably through the stable exit because the guards they're busy dealing with their friend, but they're blocking off most of the entryway and messing with them.
I'm gonna go survey the carnage of the battle.
Okay. Mike, give me a reflex check.
Okay, 24.
Okay. You're kind of out and wandering as you hear something whistling through the air. You nimbly step aside as a boulder about the size of you lands solidly and goes crashing through the gate of the inn, of the tavern. Brian, you kind of notice this as well as you see him duck to the side. Charlie, you've noticed that at this point, the army has armed its catapults and prepared them to start tearing down the walls. And you see that several large stones are just being chucked and hurled at the walls as they go.
I'm assuming the unit of heavy cavalry, the Xanthian cavalry, was decimated.
Yeah, you see that they did try mounted assault, and they did a valiant effort. The Candle Harbor army mounted assault against the mounted troops. Did a valiant job, and even though a couple of them fell, they destroyed the Candle Harbor, the Xanthian army to a man. The 25 mounted soldiers.
I'm not happy with the Xanthians. They've oppressed my people. I'm going to survey. So a good portion, like everything's pretty much centered on the west wall, isn't it?
Yeah, the combat's pretty much centered around the west wall.
I'm assuming there's guards across all the other walls, but the vast majority of everybody is on the west wall, right?
Yes.
There are other gates too, right?
There's not a gate to the west wall because they didn't actually have one there. They're just launching missiles there, launching rocks. It's to the north and south that the gates are at. North, south, and east.
Okay. Um. I am.
I'm gonna go find. Are you still in the tavern? Aren't
No, they've all left. Brian said he's wondering about town.
Yeah, I'm gonna go find the. I'm gonna go find the barbarian.
Okay.
I miss.
I wait until she's kind of in a kind of a like less populated place in the city.
Okay.
Kind of when she, if she like happens to go down like an alley or something to go from one part of the town to another,
Okay.
going to land a fair distance away. I'm going to drop my invisibility around from around, like I'm going to be around a corner. I'm going to drop my invisibility and then kind of step out and hail.
Okay.
Psst.
Yeah, as you're kind of walking along, you see kind of off the corner, and it's not really too populated because they've now got rocks being lobbed into the town. So most people are staying inside or hiding from the assaulting force. You kind of hear off an alley, psst.
Yes.
I have a proposal. I have a proposal.
I have a proposal.
I am in flamboyant green and purple garb with silver hair and golden skin.
What is it with you and golden skin type creatures?
I like it.
He's very shiny.
She long hair, tied up in a kind of a braid that comes out at the top.
Sorry, I don't swing that way.
No, not that kind of proposal. Oh, you are
He's
hot
going
stuff.
quiet on me for some reason.
Can you hear us now?
Can you hear?
Hello, hello, hello.
He looks frozen.
Hello, hello, hello.
There we go. I can hear you now.
Weird.
It went quiet for a minute.
No leaning back. How about now? Can you hear us?
Yes, just fine.
Weird. Okay. Not that kind of proposal. You are hot stuff.
Your ass felt great when I slapped it earlier. Oh, wait.
No, I didn't say that. I have a pretty high wisdom too. I'm not exactly happy with these Xanthians, so I wouldn't mind helping out those Candle Harbor peeps. I get the feeling you're not exactly happy with the Xanthians either. I can get a message to the Candle Harbor guys, and I think we could probably get them in here through one of the other gates in a surprise attack at night. Help that little thief of yours to get it all done.
Well, sounds great, but I'm not necessarily a real subterfuge type of person.
That's fine. It sounds like your little thief friend is, though. Besides, I'm sure there's going to be some fighting along the way, and there's always room for some muscle.
Well, if you can find him, you ask. He just keeps where he is.
I'll tell you what. You find him, have him come back here. You guys meet me back here. I'm going to go and see if I can't gain the Candle Harbor people some trust from the Candle Harbor guys, and see if they're interested in participating. I feel like they will be happy with the possibility of having inside help.
Yeah.
Deal?
I'll ask him.
Okay. I'll meet you back here in, say, a couple hours.
Okay.
I walk back around the corner and go invisible.
Okay.
And then I'm flying out to go, like, way out and about and around, definitely trying to avoid the, falling rocks.
Yes. So you kind of skirt the main line of fire.
Yes. I'm gonna go around and sneak into the encampment.
Okay.
Let's see if I can't find their general or lieutenant or whoever's in charge.
Okay. You see that. We'll get to you in a minute. That's going to take a couple turns. Mike, what are you doing?
I don't know what all's gone on since I went to the restroom.
Okay, so basically, you avoided the rock. The barbarian ran away, or went off to do their own bidding. And that conversation just now happened. What were you planning on doing?
Scouting the other walls, seeing what's going on there.
Okay. Yeah, in your review of the walls and just looking around, you kind of see that, as you're wandering, you see that the guards are more likely towards that end, but they've still got an increased participation. Sorry, bear with me one moment here. Someone's got to eat tonight. Okay. So you see increased participation around the borders of the soldiers.
Are there any walls more lightly guarded?
No, they're all pretty roundly guarded, but they're not very. You can tell that the side they're guarding the most is the west side right now. I'd say about is a third of the troops to the west, and then the rest are spread amongst the other walls and doors. They've opened a door to let out people who are panicking out the easternmost door. So you've kind of scout about. You see that the easternmost side has very few people, has very little, or has open doors, but the guards are pretty much spread evenly throughout, with the exception of the western side, which has about a third of the total troops on it.
Okay.
You do happen to, as you're wandering, kind of see your orcish friend looking about, or wandering about too. Brian, what are you doing?
I'm looking for him.
I'm not really hiding right now, so
Okay. So, you guys spot him. There's not very many people wandering the streets, except for those stragglers trying to escape the town.
I just had the weirdest meeting with this guy person.
figures, pixies.
Yeah. But she says that she can give word to the outside forces so that we can coordinate our actions inside, help their actions on the outside.
Okay. I kind of figured something was going on because it's doing all that in the bar.
I don't know about that. We just have to meet her again and basically tell her that we're in. She'll probably contact the people on the outside and see what we can do.
Okay. Why not?
Head back toward the meeting spot.
Okay. After about, Charlie, you kind of skirt your way over,
Okay.
and you find that Jinx has found her way to the front lines of the conflict, where you see an individual, well armored, balding, looks like he has years of battlefield experience. So they're cross arms as he's surveying things and he's shouting commands. It's pretty safe to assume that he would be the leader of the army.
Okay. I am going to.
Except the way to approach them, but they don't arrest him first.
I'm going to not show myself. Yeah. And I'm going to be like, yeah, hey, this seems kind of creepy, talking from nowhere, but don't kill me. I'm here to offer aid.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, who's that man?
Yeah, and then I am kind of floating above them, just to make sure that, like, if they try anything, I can kind of zip away.
Okay. So,
I haven't shown myself yet. I'm just basically talking from the air.
you see him look around a little bit.
I need to make sure that you won't, like, attack me on, like, immediately.
He says, "Show yourself."
Okay, I find a
Is he alone?
semi-clear area.
No,
And there's probably people, but I'm gonna try and find like a tree. Is there like a tree or anything?
Not especially. It's kind of like there's a rocky outcropping a little bit farther, a little bit in front of him. That seems to be where people have kind of dismissed it as not a defensible position. and so they've left the space around it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna kind of set down, like, kind of on that cropping. Is it close enough that he'll, like, I can still kind of talk to him?
Yeah, it's within earshot. It's probably about 30 feet away.
Okay.
I can just imagine if he was with somebody else. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, he
I'll say-
is.
Yeah, I'll set down there and then drop my invisibility. Like, I'm here. What up?
He looks at you. Goes, what the hell is a pixie doing here?
Well, let me put it this way. I'm not exactly happy with the Xanthians. They haven't exactly been the nicest, rulers of this land. And, at least to my people. So I'm willing to help you out. I've got some peeps on the inside that could potentially help coordinate an attack.
Must be these followers of Flame guys we've heard about.
Actually, that's exactly who they are. Sweet, so you know about them too?
We're famous.
I myself have only met them recently, but I've heard a lot about them, and I'm pretty sure they'll help you out.
He says, well, we're in theory allied with them. So of course, we'd welcome any assistance as possible.
So, what can I relay to them? I'm supposing that we can probably work some kind of plan where we help you guys get in the wall.
Well, they're expecting us to eventually try to take the doors. Right now, our plan is to destroy the walls because we figure that's the easiest way in. Has less resistance and it's less guarded against military affront. Plus, we have a lot of these stones to use. In the background, you see a rather large, looks like probably a half ogre, picking up and bearing these man-sized stones and plotting them in the cup of the trebuchets. It says, if you can figure out a way to blow a hole in the wall faster, that would be of great use to us.
Okay. Let me go back and talk to my peeps on the inside. And once we kind of have the plan figured out, I will be back to relay the specifics. Until then, can you at least somewhat keep up the barrage and keep the attention focused over here? I mean, you're doing a pretty damn good job myself. I'm not really kind of complaining. I'm just saying.
He turns and talks to the guy holding the archers, the archer flag. He says, "Stand off. We probably don't want to burn the town down now."
Yeah, that's pretty nice of you. We appreciate it.
He says, "We'll keep pressure as we can."
We'll try not to keep it very long. We'll be in touch pretty soon.
He nods. He says, "Well, I assume by the time that this happens, we'll either be very aware of it, or that you'll find some way within the city to send a signal to us that you're about to do your attack, so we can commit at that time."
Perfect. I'll be in touch. With that, I drop back into invisibility and zip away.
Okay.
Now to go meet my new compatriots.
Okay. You guys want to keep going, or do you all have bedtimes?
I kind of have a bad time.
Okay.
Probably a good place to at least pause it.
We'll place you at the beginning of the next game in a
Me.
tavern somewhere in town, preparing for a assault. It'll be approximately the same day. Just a good spot to kind of meet and do the thing.
And work out the plan.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. And with that, I bid everybody in the streaming world adieu.